entire class how to do it the right way, how to wash your hands. Our sages teach us that if you wash your hands with an abundance of water, some people, they take like these little mini cups and, there's enough water to maybe wash an eye. You have to wash your hand with, people are like cheap with the water. This country is blessed with trillions of cubes of water. It's not a desert. It's not Saudi Arabia. And they wash their hands like that. The mitzvah of washing has to be done the right way. When you wash your hands, it has to be abundance of water to go all the way to your wrist. That's the way to do it. So we're not going to do a shiur about Birkat Hamazon, but you have to learn all the laws that have to do with it. How to wash your hands. There are many sgulot in that. Many people, they wash their hands and they go, what? I didn't hear what you said. Say the bracha like a mensch. Baruch atah Hashem, Elokeinu melech haolam. There are many different ways how to do it. One of the things is it's extremely important that you raise your hands, that you open your fingers. There's a lot of halachot and a lot of mystical explanations how you wash your hands, how you say Birkat Hamazon. But if you want to take at least one thing out of tonight, is say Birkat Hamazon every day. It's such a powerful bracha that in this bracha it even says, Kadosh Baruch Hu hazan u'farnes lakol. I give you everything. I give you everything and in abundance. That's all it takes. It's just washing. Because in this bracha, I basically thank the Kadosh Baruch Hu. So this mitzvah of Birkat Hamazon, it's kind of getting like a trunk and then some branches. It has a few branches. Because first of all, when I bench, really what I do is I thank the Kadosh Baruch Hu. And the power of thanking, what's called hodaya, that's where you get your bracha. The Kadosh Baruch Hu has the cheshek to give you more when you thank Him. If you don't thank Him and you just take it, even worse than that, you think that you did it, that's what the Kadosh Baruch Hu says, okay, I don't want to give Him. When a person says, I didn't do anything, it's the Kadosh Baruch Hu that did it. I didn't do nothing. And then you still, above that, you also thank the Kadosh Baruch Hu. You say, thank you, wow, I didn't even expect this deal to close. Thank you, Baruch Hashem, I can't believe it closed. The power of thanking is one of the most powerful tools to create a vessel to receive the bracha. Try it even in the physical world. You come to a person that will give you something and you're not going to thank him, he's not going to want to give it to you anymore. You thank him, oh, thank you so much. Thank your boss. Try once to thank your boss. You'll see you get a bonus. Guarantee. Most people, when they get the check, they don't come to the boss and tell him thank you. Most people say, he has to thank me. I'm making money for him. You have to thank him. He gave you a job. He can kick you in your tuchus and get another person. Very few people walk into the mosque at the end of the week and say, thank you. Thank you for hiring me. So much more so to the Master of the Universe. The Master of the Universe feeds me all day long and I don't even take the time to thank him. The pillars of our nation compiled Birkat Hamazon for us to say. The first one, Birkat Hamazon, is divided in 4 sections. The first one was compiled by Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu himself compiled the bracha, the first bracha of Birkat Hamazon, when the man came down. Later on, when Yoshua took the Jews into Eretz Israel, he compiled the second part of the bracha. After that, the third part came David HaMelech. He compiled the third part of Birkat Hamazon. And the last one was Anshe Knesset HaGedolah. This is one of the most powerful things. Now, in Birkat Hamazon, so first of all, you have the washing of the bread. Second of all, you have the actual blessing. You have the concept of the thanking. But bread is very, very holy. And most people do not realize that, is when you chas v'shalom desecrate bread, it really damages the parnasah. If you have dry bread in your home, you don't throw it to the garbage. Can't throw it to the garbage. And if you're already throwing it to the garbage, you have to wrap it nice, you have to hide it, then you put it in the garbage. You want to make sure that it's better even to give it to the birds. But I can tell you one thing that is known to be a very powerful remedy for richness is on Erev Shabbat, the highlight of the meal is the bread. You have the wine and you have the bread. The food itself is also good, but the bread is the highlight. And if the bread, first of all, needless to say, it's not even a question here. The bread has to be done afrashat challah. It's not the bread that you buy in the supermarket. It has to be a dough that the wife made and took challah out of it, did afrashat challah. It's so holy, the bread, that we're not allowed to take from the piece of the bread and feed it to an animal. The bread that you ate on Shabbat, you can't give it to animals. Now, if you notice, most of the breads on Shabbat, when you cut them, they create a lot of crumbs. The crumb, to gather all the crumbs and to eat it, this is a secret to a very powerful remedy to be rich. Why? Because the Kadosh Baruch Hu says, this is my holy bread. And most people, they throw everything to all the sides. But the person who cares about every little thing that it comes from Kedusha, Kadosh Baruch Hu says, that I like. I like that you don't desecrate my holy bread. Because really, in the beginning, man came from the heavens. And the man came on Friday. I mean, it came every day, but on Friday it came 2 portions. That's why we have 2 breads on Shabbat. One for Friday, one for Shabbat. It's called Lechem Mishneh. The reason why we eat it, because we're commemorating the fact that the man came in 2 portions on Friday. And that's why we cover the challah, because a lot of people say, okay, not to embarrass the wine, but the Zohar says that the man came down with a cover. So the same way that the man came down with a cover and they removed it, so we cover our bread. So everything that has to do around the bread on Shabbat has to be done 100% the right way. And now when you cut the bread and all the crumbs go all over the place, don't brush it off. Brush it together and eat it. And eat those crumbs. And the amazing thing is that I have a very close friend, and it's one of our students, and her brother is very, very rich. He's not religious, but he's extremely, extremely rich. And I taught that in one of the classes about the crumbs. And she says, you know, when we grew up, my brother always used to eat the crumbs. I said, see, it works. Now tomorrow we're going to see everybody with crumbs. What are you doing? A crumb! The reality is that the Kadosh Baruch Hu, the significance here, first of all, the bread is holy, but the significance is that you care about something small. Now this is really the lesson that I want to give out, and not the crumbs, something else. It's very good to be rich. It's very nice to be rich. It's comfortable. The reality is that we don't really need to be rich. Let somebody else be rich. We need to be comfortable. That's totally fine. Exactly like Rabbi Asher said, when you're comfortable, you pray quietly, you come to the class, there's no worries. I mean, we weren't created to worry. It's very good to be comfortable, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's not the hefech, the opposite of the Torah. It doesn't say anywhere in the Torah that I'm supposed to suffer. Hefech, the Kadosh Baruch Hu wants to give me an abundance. And you see that in many places, you go to a tzaddik or you go to a big rabbi, they bless you, should have parnasah b'shefa. Not because he wants the donations, because he wants you to have the parnasah. So there's nothing wrong with being comfortable.